What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, and today we have a very different video, and it's more me just talking to you guys about stuff rather than me showing off products. This is all very theoretical. I wanted to kind of take a link between what's happening in the stock market right now and link it to what is happening or what has happened or what potentially could happen in the Pokemon market. So before we get into this video, I do want to touch upon the fact that I am not a financial expert, nor am I a financial advisor. I am just a lowly MBA student with a lot of time on his hands to make these videos. So if you do want to invest in stocks, please reach out to someone who is a lot more knowledgeable, whether it's about GameStop or AMC or even Pokemon products. I do not endorse anything. I will be transparent with you all. I do own stock in GameStop and AMC. If you want to kind of know what kind of stuff I'm into, I'm not the best person to listen to. I even have things like Dogecoin, which is a meme currency. So, be smart about your investments. Do not take what I say as the gospel truth. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let me know your thoughts down below, and thanks again. Now, if you have not been reading the news or been on social media at all, you might not understand what's going on. I'm sure the vast majority of you know exactly what's going on, but I'm going to explain it anyways, just so we're all on the same page. And at the end of this video, let me know what you guys think. I could be completely wrong. You might agree with me, you might disagree with me. This is what this video is for us to kind of like have a good conversation about it anyway. So essentially what has happened in the stock market is that there is a huge feud between hedge funds, those in Wall Street, against people like you and me, people who are on Reddit, people who are on Twitter, everyday users of the stock market, but we don't have the hundreds, millions, billions of dollars that these big investment banks or hedge funds have. It all started basically because what hedge funds do is they do this thing called shorting. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically a very quick, easy way to get cash if you have a lot of cash and a lot of influence and a lot of power. So for example, let's say that I borrow your shares in GameStop, and those shares sell for around $10, and I pay you $1 to borrow that share, and I promise to give you that share back. So what these hedge funds do is, if the stock goes down to say $5, so it was originally 10 and it's now $5, I can then buy back that share a lot cheaper. So essentially what happens is I have that $10 share that I borrowed from you. I sold it, it's now $5, so I've bought it back, given it back to you along with that $1, so I've given you $6 back, and I have pocketed the $4 in profit. So basically these hedge funds were doing that over and over again, but not just $10, it was millions and millions and millions of dollars. And basically Reddit users got fed up with it. GameStop was one of those companies that went from $20 to $10 to $4, and everyone quickly saw that GameStop is not worth $4. It's worth a lot more than $4. So this had been going on for quite some time, and so these hedge funders got kind of cocky, a bit too confident in their own ability and how much influence they did have, because nobody had really touched them in forever. Because think about it, GameStop, it is essentially like a mall store. This is like a place that you went to in like the early 2000s, and you went and bought a game, or you bought your PlayStation at, but now we live in a world of digital games. I don't know about you guys, but I buy all my PlayStation games like online. I never bother going to the store anymore, and we're in the middle of a pandemic, so a lot of GameStops are actually closed or have been closed or just don't have that customer base anymore. So anyway, what these hedge funders did is they ended up buying all of these shares and shorting all of these shares. But at the same time, these people on Reddit decided to buy them too, and that increased the price. So when they were promising to pay those shares back, those shares had actually gone up in price instead of down in price, and this made them lose a ton of money. And so these hedge funds had to buy more to basically recuperate their losses. And so they were fighting against the Reddit users, and the price kept going up and up and up. And, you know, at the end of like yesterday, it was up to like $300. And so a couple of the hedge funds who'd been doing this lost $1.3 billion and actually are having to get bailed out by the US government. It was kind of like a great example. I'm not going to go into too much more detail about it, but, you know, it's a great example of how like a community can really impact you know, the price of a good or service. So GameStop is not worth, you know, at the time of me, you know, making this video, it's around $300. It is not worth $300. It's in the realm of maybe $6 to $12. It loses millions every single month. They've just got a new you know, ownership in, so that has helped its stock value and everything, but it's not worth $300. It's just not. So I kind of wanted to draw the line between Pokemon communities and that of kind of like the Reddit community that did this to the GameStop. Now, we don't really have anyone in the Pokemon community who is like the hedge fund people. We don't have that kind of like evil presence. You might think of, you know, scalpers as someone in that evil presence, but there's no really way to short Pokemon stuff. So what I wanted to talk about was just the way the market can be manipulated by a community or a person, and how you know, people are paying for Pokemon products which just really are not worth that much or should not be worth that much. So one really good example is Z&G Emporium. Now, if you don't know, he's a big Pokemon YouTuber. I absolutely love this guy. I watch all his videos. I think he is great. He is you know, he's made a killing off of Pokemon, and he actually made a video on how he accidentally manipulated the market. So he had I'll pop it up on the screen, these sealed Venusaur Wizards of the Coast like packages almost. I don't really know what you call it, like envelopes almost, and they were promos. They had a Venusaur promo, and inside was the Venusaur promo card. Now this card is loose inside there, and I think there's only 4 PSA 10 cards of this Venusaur, because as you can imagine, from like between 1998 till now, imagine a card sliding up and down inside that envelope. It's almost impossible to get a 10 grade on this card. So essentially, he went onto his YouTube and he said that he bought them for like $150 each, but the PSA 10s would sell for over $10,000. So he was basically saying on his original video that, you know, it's worth the gamble buying something for $150 when it could turn into $10,000. Anyway, fast forward a couple weeks later, he made another video where he essentially said, you know, I manipulated the market, but accidentally.
But the problem was, unlike everything else I buy and I sell at market price, I was speculating on this. You know, I wasn't just buying something that was cheap and then selling it for market price. I was buying something at market price. Now, I wasn't hyping it per se, because I said I was going to hold on to it and, you know, we'll see what happens. But what happened? After I made that video, now you could find these very easily, okay? Very easily when I made this video for around $150. I bought 29 of these from somebody for $150 a piece. All of a sudden, 0 were available. 0, not 1. Not 1 were available on eBay anywhere. And then what happened is that when a couple went to auction, they went for over $400. One went over $500.
So he had bought them for $150, and after he made that video, they had jumped up in price to $400 or $500. Now, are they worth $400 or $500? That is very debatable. But it's just a great example, you know, to show that if one person who has around, I think he had around 10,000 YouTube subscribers at that time, he has closer to 20,000 now, you know, that's a fairly small user base at 10,000, but if you make a video that goes like semi-viral or has a couple thousand views, that influences the market somewhat. So you can imagine the damage that someone like, you know, if Leonhardt had said, you know, buy this certain card, can you imagine how crazy the whole market would go? It would go absolutely insane. Prices would go through the roof, even though there's no real reason for it apart from you're listening to Leonhardt. And I think that's a real big issue, is that, you know, these YouTube personalities, whether they have, you know, 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 or 1 million, you know, they can influence the market by just what they say. And Z and G, I 100% believe that he didn't mean to influence it. He is a seller. He's kind of just like me, buys and sells stuff. But I don't think he was trying to influence the market in any way. He was just showcasing, the product that he had and giving data and analysis on it. And some people just take it to the absolute extreme. And talking of extremes, that brings me on to like kind of like the next piece of evidence, the special delivery Pikachu. Now these were like free cards. I have one myself in my binder somewhere, and these were free if you spent like $25 on the Pokemon Center, and they're going for like over $250 now. And they're a free card. These were like mass printed. I think I got mine like 3 weeks after it launched, so it had been out for like 3 weeks, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna buy these special delivery Pikachu's because I'd seen them on eBay for like $20 or $25. So I was like, okay, I'm getting basically a free card or a free item and replacing that with value in a card. So I was like, I'll just buy it. And now it's $250 because, PSA 10s or whatever are selling for thousands and thousands. And that is just like is insane. I see it all over Facebook, and how people are like really panicking and being like, oh, I really, really want this like special delivery Pikachu. And it's purely because of prices. There's no reason for it to be over, $250. There's no reason for it to be over $100. It's still a fairly new card. There's still so many of them out there for sale. I don't know why it's that price, but the hype around it and people inflating prices on Facebook, it makes no sense to me. And these like small communities are just hyping up stuff over and over and over again, and it's becoming like almost infectious that people are making up these kind of like stories on investments and stuff without any actual backing on why it should be that price. I think the people who have this huge FOMO about them, like if you're really spending, $1,000 on an Evolutions booster box and you've had like the last 4 years to buy one, you're one of those people that has a huge case of FOMO, in my opinion, and you cannot stand not having something and seeing it going up. And I think this is what it's all about. Whether it's a GameStop thing, whether it is the Venusaurs, whether it's this stuff has always been out, and it's been out for a while. Like the delivery Pikachu's been out like for like 3 months. Why would you start buying it now? You've had 3 months to buy it. It never makes sense to me why people wait so long. And I get it. Some of you might be waiting on like a paycheck or like a stimulus check or a variety of financial reasons. But that wouldn't motivate the market as much as it is right now. There's just way too many people who are in this FOMO bracket, fear of missing out. Now, the reason I don't like, spending a ton of money on something that's like out of print or anything is because there's other products where you can like kind of like figure out while it's still in stock, while it's still in retail, and jump on them before the prices get crazy. So this one is a really great example, the Tag All Stars one. You can just look at so the way I've done it basically, and I know these are running out of print because Plaza Japan has increased their price. They're out of stock in Plaza Japan. Essentially all the Japanese stores that sell abroad have sold out. I've talked to one of my suppliers in Japan. He says all of these are sold out in retail stores. You have to buy them on the secondary market, and they're like $60 to $70 on the secondary market in Japan. So that's when things are starting to like start churning, and that's when you should really start buying things. But things like this where it's already gone up to the $1,000 mark or the high $100 mark, it's just too late, and spending that much money on it is just crazy. And I really do think it's these communities on whether it's on YouTube or whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Facebook, who kind of like hype all this stuff up and make the price go way higher than it should be, and the demand go way higher than it should be, because they create this like fear of missing out. And that's kind of why I want to tag GameStop or AMC to the Pokemon thing, is like the community aspect. When you have people in a community and you tell them, go buy Tag All Stars, go buy GameStop, go buy special delivery Pikachu, go buy Evolutions, go buy AMC, with that power you can create so much demand and such a huge change in price. It can really damage or affect the market. I've obviously invested in GameStop and AMC, and I think that's way different to Pokemon because, you know, when you're investing in GameStop and AMC, you're kind of doing it to say like fuck you to the people on Wall Street essentially. Whereas with Pokemon, it's a lot different. You're not doing that at all. You're just doing like a fear of missing out. But that's kind of the link between the two is the community aspect, and that's what I've kind of seen is that I didn't really use Reddit all that much, but I've been using it a lot more over the past week. And, you know, it's all about, you know, quickly guys, buy now, buy now, buy now. And the same thing happens on Pokemon where it's like, get a special delivery Pikachu while it's still $60 or $100 or whatever the case may be. And it happens with a product every month. It's like, get this now while you still can because it's going to be like $200 with absolutely no evidence supporting it. And then that creates like a huge increase in price. But yeah, I just thought it was really, really interesting to see, you know, how communities, when you have that many people, you know, I know the Pokemon community probably couldn't do what the you know, that Reddit WallStreetBets community did, where they got over like 4 million users now or 5 million, and they got all these people to buy one stock. I don't think that could ever happen with Pokemon. There's just not enough people and not enough demand, probably not enough people with that much money willing to spend, you know, the tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars to say, you know, give a middle finger to Wall Street. So I'm not worried on that front. It's just, you know, it's really interesting how, you know, influencers or people on YouTube, you know, you have to be very, very careful on who you listen to because the vast majority of these people are doing it for a reason, not to help you, but they're doing it because they probably have, you know, a foot in the game. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on you know, the power of communities and what you guys think, because I've certainly found it interesting, you know, looking at real life aspect on you know, the stock market lately, and you know, it's made me think about Pokemon a lot because, you know, I've seen lots and lots of YouTubers say, you know, buy this now, buy this, with literally no evidence. I think Z&G Emporium, his evidence was great because he gave a statistical value. But yeah, I'll have more videos out this weekend. I've got one coming out about you know, shipping and all that kind of stuff. I said I would do it. I've already filmed it. I just wanted to get this one out first. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thank you.